Welcome to UME Academy. Before we continue, pause this video and click the big Start Project button. Your project can take up to 5 minutes to load. Once your screen looks like mine, come back and continue with this video. Welcome to this introduction to Unity and game design. Some of you may have made games in the past. For those of you that haven't, this whole process might seem a little bit intimidating at first. I wanted to assure you that we have a really fun and simple system in place that'll allow you to make your own game that you can share with your friends and your family. Let me break it down for you like this. I'm really only going to teach you 3 things. I'm going to teach you 1 tool, and I'm going to teach you 2 shortcuts. And with those 3 things, you're actually going to be able to make your own video game. Let's start by taking a look at our workspace. Now this is Unity. You may have heard of Unity before. It's a really popular game design software. Lots of really cool games are made with Unity. When we're working in Unity, we're primarily going to be doing our work in the Scene tab. You can see this little tab here says Scene. And if you're ever wondering if you're in the Scene tab or not, it's a dead giveaway that you're in the Scene tab if you see this sort of charcoal gray background with a grid pattern on it, lots of little lines and boxes. That lets us know we're working in the Scene tab. But when we want to play test our game, we actually have to switch to the Game tab. And the way that we do that is to click the play button right here. The play button looks like a triangle turned on its side. I'm going to click the play button, and it says that I need to press enter to start the game. I'm going to click into the middle of my screen just to make sure I have that area selected, and then I'm going to press enter. When I press enter on my keyboard, I'm now in the game, and in fact, I can control my character. I can use my left and right arrows to move, and I can use my spacebar to jump. So what I'd like you to do right now is pause this video, and then I want you to try out using the play button and controlling your characters. Go do that now, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now we know how to use the play button to move back and forth between the Scene tab and the Game tab. I want to show you something important before we move on. There's a pause button here you might be tempted to use. If I click the pause button, it looks like I'm in the Scene tab, but I'm actually just in a paused state. And what that means is any work that I do, any changes that I make, they're all going to disappear as soon as I turn the pause button off. So I always tell my students to stay away from the pause button. Instead, only use the play button to switch back and forth between Scene and Game. I'm going to click it again now to go back to the Scene tab. You might remember at the beginning of this video I said I'm going to teach you only 1 tool. We're going to learn that tool right now. It's called the Move tool, and you can find the Move tool up here in our toolbar in the upper left-hand corner of your workspace. The Move tool is the second one from the left, and it has arrows going up and down, left and right. So with that Move tool selected, I'm going to click on an object. I've got this crate here. In fact, the name of this object is Big Crate, and the reason I know that is that I have a hierarchy tab to the left of my workspace, and it lists the names of all the objects in my scene. And this one called Big Crate is highlighted. So when you click on an object, it will show up as highlighted in your hierarchy. So I have Big Crate selected with my Move tool, and a number of manipulator tools have popped out of the object. I've got a red arrow, I have a green arrow, and I have a blue box. The red arrow actually lets us move left and right. The green arrow lets us move up and down. And the blue square lets us move pretty much anywhere we want. There are no restrictions to my movement when I use the blue square. So what I'd like you to do right now is I'd like you to pause this video, and I'd like you to select the Move tool. Then I want you to click on an object in your scene and just practice moving it around. So now we know how to move objects using the Move tool. Next, we're going to learn how to duplicate objects. We may want more than one of an object in our scene. The way that we duplicate an object is by using a keyboard shortcut, and that keyboard shortcut is Control D. That means we're going to use the Control key, which you'll find in the lower left-hand corner of your keyboard, and the D key, D for duplicate. Now, it's the same on both a Mac and a PC when you're working on our platform. So I'm going to go back to my scene. I'm going to select that crate, and I'm going to hold down the Control key and push D. Now I have made a duplicated object. I can see in my hierarchy, now I have two versions of Big Crate, but I can only see one in my scene. The reason is that when you duplicate an object, it actually pastes that object directly on top of the original. So I just have to use my move tool to move my duplicate. I can do that as many times as I want. I'm going to build a wall here. And there we go. So what I'd like you to do right now is to pause the video, and I'd like you to practice using the Control-D shortcut to duplicate some objects in your scene. So we know how to duplicate objects using Control-D. Now we're going to learn the undo command. If I've taken my beautifully stacked wall and just moved the crates all over throughout my scene, maybe I was trying out a different configuration. If I decide I'd like to go back to the way that I just had it, I need to use another keyboard shortcut to undo those actions. And the keyboard shortcut for undo is Control-Z. Once again, you're going to use the Control key in the lower left-hand corner of your keyboard. Then you're going to use the Z key. Z is the last letter of the alphabet. We want to go back to the last thing we did. So let me see if I can undo those actions and get my perfectly stacked crate wall back. I'm going to hold Control and press Z. I'm going to hold Control and press Z again, and again, and again. So what I'd like you to do right now is pause the video and practice moving some objects around, then using Control-Z to undo those actions. Do that now, and then we'll continue. So now we know how to undo using the Control-Z keyboard shortcut. You really at this point have everything you need in order to build a really cool game, but I'm going to walk you through the setup so that you'll know how to get started. First of all, I want to take a look at some of the objects that I have provided for me here. I'd like to take a look at my player. Now I can zoom in either using the mouse wheel on my mouse, or if you don't have a mouse wheel, you can use these plus and minus buttons in the upper right-hand corner of the Scene tab to zoom in and out. I'm going to zoom in and take a look at her. She's great. I really like her. But I see that I have some other player options over here. I see I could also be a robot. I like the robot better. So changing to a different character is just as simple as using the Move tool to move one character outside of our scene and bring another character in. Now, it's important to note at this point that we have this white thin rectangle in our scene. That white thin rectangle actually represents our camera boundaries, and you can tell that if I click play, only the area inside that rectangle is showing up as part of my playable game. So really, building our game just requires us to bring things in and out of that framed area. So with my robot in my game, I have a player now that I want to work with. I have all kinds of other objects that I can work with too. We've already seen the crates. I have this blue brick. It can be used to create different objects, just using duplicate and move. You can build some structures. We have a number of platforms off to the left. I'm not going to show you all of them because it's important that you experiment and figure out what they do for yourself, but I will preview one for you. This is this purple platform here. I can see in the hierarchy it's called moving platform. If I click play, we can see what it does. So we can see that the moving platform actually just moves back and forth. So that's pretty interesting. But the other four all have their own individual superpowers. So experiment with those when you start building your game and figure out what they do. We also have a number of items here along the bottom of our screen. I've got a star, a coin, a gem. I've got these two clouds. One has a heart and one has a red barrel. And I have a treasure chest. So you're going to have to experiment with those to figure out what those do as well. And they all do something a little bit different. Before you start building your game, we need to learn what the game objective is. And I'm going to do that just by hitting my play button. There are some game instructions that have been provided. It says 1,000 points equals win. So that means we need to get 1,000 points in order to win this game. It's important to note, though, that we also have a timer, and that timer is set for 1 minute. So the real objective of this game is to get 1,000 points in 1 minute in order to win. So we know that some objects in this scene have to give us points. Let's take a look. I'm going to show you just one of them. I've got this coin, and I'm going to bring this into my scene. I'm going to do a quick experiment just to see what the coin does. I'm going to move this platform out of the way. Click the play button, press enter, and I want my robot to interact with this coin. Keep your eye on the scoreboard up in the top right corner of my game tab. You can see that coins give us 10 points. We know that in order to get 1,000 points, that's going to take a lot of coins. So you're going to need to experiment with some of the other objects that we've provided to you to see if there's a faster way to get 1,000 points. So before you get started, let's do a very quick review. We know how to move using the Move tool. Click on the object and use one of these manipulators in order to move it. We know how to duplicate using the keyboard shortcut Control-D. We know that we have to move the duplicate so that we can see there are two objects. We also know that we can undo with Control-Z. So that's all you need to know to get started. Now I'd like you to build yourself a game. Remember, your objective is to get 1,000 points in 1 minute. You have all of these objects at your disposal. You just need to make sure that you drag them inside this white frame so that they can become part of your game. Good luck. I can't wait to see what you make. Sometimes the hardest part of a game design project is knowing where to start. If you need some inspiration, take a look at these awesome projects that other people have built. And don't forget, once you've finished, ask other people to play test your game. Analyze their feedback and then use that information to help balance your game and make it better. When you're done working on your project, you're going to need to click the red Save and Close button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This will save your project, and it will start the publishing process so that other people can play your game too. Next, you're going to see a big yellow button that says Go to My Game. Click that, and it will take you to your game's project page. Here you can give your game a title, edit the description, and there's a link that you can copy and give to your family and friends so that they can play your game. There's one more thing you need to do while you're here, and it's really important. In the upper right-hand corner of this screen, you can see a little white arrow that's pointing at 3 lines. If you click on those 3 lines, it's going to display your username and your password. Copy those down exactly as they're shown so that you can easily log back in and edit your projects in the future. And don't forget, at any time you can log in at UME.Games and click on the Make button. That's in the upper left-hand corner of the top menu. This will show you a listing of all the projects that you've been working on so you can go back and keep working on your games. I hope you've enjoyed working on this project. This is just a quick introduction to Unity, but if you'd like to learn new skills and take your game design projects to the next level, please be sure to sign up for our Level 1 classes. Good luck with your projects, and I hope I see you again soon.